Hello, beloved, and welcome to another episode of the Wholeness Wisdom Well. Have you started becoming really weary of people saying you cannot figure this out and you have to become conscious, but you don't really understand the difference between consciousness and mind, and the universe is mind, and it all gets very confusing very quickly? Well, in this episode, I really hope to bring a lot of light, illumination, enlightenment about this topic, because it is critical that we understand the difference between mind and consciousness and what that really is to change our lives. I'm your guide, Lizette Morais, the founder of Arise and the creator of the Arise Sanctuary. So, let us take it from the top. Mind is our mental body, but it is more than the brain. The mental body is that which sorts, organizes, and directs the human life, right? So in my mental body, my brain is, of course, the number one organ, yes, but the mind is more. It is the experience, it is the perception of my experience, it is the way I organize thought, it is the total state of my memories, my traumas, my experiences, my beliefs, my perception. One of the scriptures that I couldn't understand was when Master Jesus would say, let those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. And I always used to think, well, that's a funny thing to say, because what do we have eyes for if not to see? What do we have ears for if not to hear? Are there people that are really not seeing? Are there people that are really not hearing? And so what I started understanding was he's talking about the activation of the pineal gland, which sits right in the middle of the brain. So you see, it is our brain, but it's also a pineal gland, and it's all, the mind is all of this working together with all of our content, our contrast, our experience. So that is mind in my definition. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is more than mind. Consciousness is the summation of creation power, source energy, life force. And one of the biggest myths that I know I'm here to debunk is one of the most common phrases used in spirituality, which is, life is an illusion. And I thought for many years I wasn't even spiritual because I knew that that was a deception, if not a downright lie. Sorry to be blunt, but it is time to be clear. So consciousness is source creation. It is the universe. It is the power in which divine speaks to us, moves through us, illuminates, empowers, regenerates, rejuvenates, all of those amazing things that consciousness does. So we can see that consciousness is universe, source, God. It is the summation of creation power and all that is. And mind is my human ability to perceive, so receive, right, and perceive, to transmute, and to transmit. A motor. You can see the mind as a motor. And I'll tell you why this is important. I was doing a retreat in April. It wasn't one of my retreats. I was invited as a guest, and I brought my singing bowls, and I brought my sound, and I brought my energy. And I was invited to support this retreat. And as I was supporting, and I hit the bowl, ding, and the divine field started opening up, and people started sensing and feeling the field, there was one man there who was a corporate executive, and he struggled with divine, with God, with all of this. And he was like, I'm skeptical. And I said, you have a right to be. So that's coming from his mind. Right now, his perception is skeptical and he's blocked. And I am not here to convince anyone about anything, right? So all I did was I started singing. I started calling in these divine energies that I represent and I am devoted to and I love. And as always, they came, which is us as well. So we opened up the field. And I think it was on day 2 that he was standing in circle, and we were going through another one of these sessions of music, and his pineal gland was activated, and he started seeing the other side of the veil. He started seeing divine consciousness. And I was looking at him and I saw him receiving the revelation. His body was shaking, tears flowing down his face. And I walked up to him and I put my hand on his heart to anchor that. Because when we open up that divine consciousness is real, we need to ground it in our heart. We need to harmonize our heart, our emotional body, and so I'm putting his hand on his heart, and when he opened his eyes and he saw it was me and he looked at me, he said, Lisette, it's only love. So much love, so much infinite love, so much light. And I cried, because there is nothing more beautiful to me than a human being waking up to the fact that they are unconditionally held, loved, supported, that they are an enlightened master who was simply separated from the source and from their source. And I said, yes, it is only light, it is only love. And then I said, but now that you know, please know, beloved, that you don't have to go out there and try to convince anyone. Or now it is up to you to take this love and be love in your world. You don't have to save the world, sacrifice yourself. What you need to do is hold that love and be that love as much as you can within your world and change your world. What do you think is going to happen when a person is awakened and filled with love and starts being loved to every single relationship, starting with their partner, starting with their family, starting with their extended family, starting with their community, starting with their team, and so the ripple effect continues. These compassionate, sensitive, attuned, aligned, powerful leaders.